Hey everybody, this is Kim Love Jones and I am hosting tonight's show with Dee and Friends. Unfortunately, I am going to be the only one on the show, but I will be taking phone calls on this evening. So if you have any questions for me, please feel free to, um, to just call in. Tonight we're going to be talking about how to attract the person of your dreams. And again, my name is Kim Love Jones, and I am a guest host on this evening. And I'm excited and I'm really happy to be here with you guys on this evening. Um, Before we get started with the phone calls and before I get started talking, I just wanted to tell you that my book, Perfectly Imperfect, will be available on Amazon around the 15th of October. And I am extremely excited. That in and of itself is talking, it's like a guide to finding the relationship that you want. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that on this evening. I am excited to be here, and we're just going to move right along with the show. If anybody wants to call in now, you're welcome to do so. And I want to talk about how to attract the person of your dreams. I want to talk about that. To begin with, it starts out with the right mindset. You have to have the right mindset in order to find the person that you really want to be with. It's like anything else in life. It's about anything else that you want to do. If you focus on it, then that thing that you want to have will come to you. So let's talk about the mindset aspect of that. What is it that you believe about relationships that is hindering you from having a great one? A lot of times it's because people don't have the right attitude. It's because of their belief system, their environment, upbringing, and sometimes what they've learned from their friends, and sometimes through family. So one of the things that, I think that everybody should do if you want to be in a relationship is you need to have the right mindset in order to make that happen for yourself. I meet tons of people every day who are struggling with having great relationships, and it's primarily because they don't want to give anything. They don't want to bend, they don't want to change. They want somebody to come into their lives and be a part of their lives without actually doing any work. And so I say this all the time. I post stuff like this all the time on my Facebook page. It takes work. It takes determination. And you have to be willing to do that in order to have what it is that you desire most in life. You first have to make a decision, though, that if you really want to have a great relationship, that you desire that above still wanting to be the old person, the single person. Let me say that. So many of us are single because we just simply don't want to give. We just simply don't want to give. And I'm trying to figure out in my heart of hearts how it is that you can expect, you, me, or anyone else can expect to have a wonderful and great life if you yourself do not work hard to attain that for yourself. So what I want to do is I'm just going to go over a few things as per our mindset. And this is just when I want to ask you a few questions, everybody watching. Do you think that your attitude has anything to do with why you haven't met the right person? Or do you think that it's the attitude of the other people that you're meeting? And those are some hard questions that you have to ask yourself if you're ready to embrace a life with someone else. And there are times when I do videos about this stuff. I have very long conversations with people about this because I think that sometimes we don't even realize the damage that we're doing and how we sabotage our own happiness. And so, for instance, in order to become a wonderful track runner, and I'm using this analogy because it's important. They practice at running track almost every single day. They train in that field. They do whatever it is that they have to do to become the best track runner that they can be. So if you're going to be in a relationship, you have to put down all of the nonsense that's going to hinder or impede your personal growth, your relationship growth, and you have to get a fresh start. So it's sometimes kind of difficult to do that. Sometimes it's not easy to put away all of the things that you've ever learned and to say, you know what, I'm going to try something different this time. Well, I'm appealing to you on this evening to try something different because what you have been doing has not necessarily been working for you. If you're single and it's not a personal choice of yours to be single, then there may be some sort of a problem there. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is I want to talk about some things that we can go back and think about in terms of how we can be better in our lives. I actually think that I do more talking about personal growth more than I do about relationships because it's all tied in together. And what we think about most is what we will net in our lives. So I'm not going to be, I think I'm going to get a phone call. I think a phone call is coming in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause for 1 second until the phone, until I get the phone call. Okay. Maybe not. Okay. Okay.
We just lost the call. We'll bring it right back.
Okay. Okay. The other thing that I want you to really think about is I want you to think about the fact that the way you see your life, whether you see it as half empty or half full, determines what you will get in your life. That's period and across the board. Now, I think about this all the time. I want to talk about lack versus abundance. When you have a mindset of lack, you have a tendency to always think negatively. When you think that there is not enough of something, like I hear, for instance, there are no good men out here, or where are all the men? Where are all of the good women? I don't know where they are. I hear things like that. And the truth of the matter is, if I can be perfectly honest with you, is that there is an abundance of wonderful men and women that are waiting for you. They're waiting for you to get your life together. They're waiting for you to open up to them. They're waiting for you to embrace them because they're looking for you. And so the truth is that we should think about there being an abundance and no lack. I think we have a phone call coming through. Hello?
Yes, watching your show, this Boris, I want to tell you this is very interesting to me because I come to America. Is not really understanding women of America's mindset. I am a good person. I bring plenty presents. I bring people love, laughter. It's not working. I don't understand. Most times in our country, I was good. This country, I stink. I'm not afraid to admit it because I'm a flexible person. What kind of advice am I looking for?
Well, Boris, I guess, thank you for calling into the show. I think that it depends on what you're doing when you're giving the gifts, because that's very, very important. Like, what type of person are you around and who are you giving the gifts to?
Well, first of all, I have a regular job. I work in gas station. It's a good job, make money, but always not so good for meeting people. So what happens is, when I meet people, they tell me, okay, they are married or they are not looking, or maybe other sex that they want. And so for me to meet people in a regular world to maybe go to date, perhaps date with intentions of marriage, is very, very important to me. But these people seem not to exist. So I'm looking high and low, but in my past, I bring people who I love dearly, usually presents, maybe Christmas presents, sometimes presents for no reason, and always want them to know I'm caring.
Yes.
So how you say, texting. We say messaging, you say texting. Well, I'm messaging people all the time who are good to me, and I'm good back, but nothing happens.
Okay, okay, Boris. So, what you're saying is that just to make sure I understand what you're saying is that you're making an investment in people who are not investing in you.
This is true. I'm making investment, not money in bank, but investment in person.
Yes, yes, exactly. So my question would be to you, Boris, why are you making an investment in people who do not want the same thing that you want?
Well, this is not no easy subject to find someone who happens to want same things as you then. Remember, always people have different mindset. So this mindset like this, very, very hard. So I don't know who wants something unless you go on date. You go on date, you maybe hit it off, very nice. If you don't hit it off, well, then this next date is next time. But the only way to do it is to go on date. So unfortunately, you don't go on date, you get no idea who wants to do what
Right.
in marriage or whatever this is going to go, or different religions, sometimes always big problem, the religion.
Right.
And plus, you bring them nice presents because in my book, as I would say, I would always bring presents to say, this is me, welcome to me, I'm a nice person, I want to know you. There's no strings attached, but
Yes.
this is what seems to happen.
Yes. Yes. Well, my advice is, Boris, when you first meet somebody and you're going on your first or second date, dinner should suffice. I don't know what types of gifts you're giving, but I would suggest, and this is to all men who are listening and watching this show on this evening, a lot of men get shafted, if you will. They date and they want to go out with women, and then they go out with 10 women and they end up paying for 10 dates. Well, there are some neutral places you can meet with women, like the beach, because it's the summertime now, or you could meet at the park, you know, and you can have maybe a picnic lunch, if you will, or grab a hot dog from one of the vendors. It doesn't have to mean that you have to make that, you know, give a big gift to someone just because you're going out on a date with them.
Oh, I'm not bringing big gifts. Let me explain. I sometimes bring a little box of chocolate, contain 4 chocolates. Why? Because you don't know who's on a diet yet. It's nice parting gift, little box.
Right. Okay, that's very nice.
Then other times I meet small places, like maybe preferred subway stop, or maybe Starbucks, or someplace in city, neutral, so the girl knows there's no problem.
Right.
But it's a big problem when girls come in 6 in a row. I watch some men, they are very good. They usually go to the women who are not chosen, choose them, and then wind up with better ones later. Whereas I go with innocent heart to people, I try to talk, they listen, they walk away. I feel embarrassed, I leave for the night.
Oh, I'm sorry you're having that experience, but they're not worthy of you then. Because it seems to me, Boris, that you're a very, very nice person, and if they don't understand who you are and your value, then shame on them.
Thank you for advice, making me feel very good. I watch the rest of your show on Med Topic TV, Medhouse TV. This is medhousetv.com, not Med Topic, I'm sorry. But I'll be watching all your show, enjoying very much Passions for Life, and also Filmmaker Show with the nut, Jerry Parisi, very good. Talk to you tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye now. Oh my goodness, what an interesting phone call. What an interesting phone call. So many men complain about the same thing. I hear them say that they're tired of dating because they spend so much time dating and taking women out only to hear that the woman doesn't like them. I mean, I really feel bad for men, and I often suggest, unfortunately, ladies, you probably don't want to hear this, but I really mean what I say, that you can meet at a neutral place, or you can go to the park or to the beach, or, you know, meet at the library, for crying out loud. I'm not saying that a gentleman should not, if they like you, take you out to dinner, if they're very interested. But there's another side to this thing. A lot of men end up, while they're looking for Mrs. Wonderful, for Mrs. Right, they end up really getting shafted when it comes down to their pockets, because they really dig women, and sometimes women are not honest and upfront, and they only find out after they dropped a whole lot of money on you that, they're not, the woman is really not interested in them. So sorry, ladies. I have to give this one up for the men tonight, because the truth of the matter is that they really sometimes get the raw end of the deal. There are a lot of good guys out here. And that brings me back to my subject that I was talking about just before the phone call. I have met so many wonderful men in my life, my brothers. They are very, very good men. And I hear a lot of women say that there are no good men out here, and I know that that's a lie. I'm going to give you just a little bit of an example, if you will. I'm going to share with you my personal experience. I have met in the last 2 months about 20 men who all seem to be interested. And it's not that I'm dating them or going to go out with them or have even talked to them on the telephone. The point is that when people tell me that there is a lack in men or interested brothers in women, I know that that's not the truth. I'm not, Holly Berry, I'm just Kim. And the reality of the situation is that when I go out, the reason why men talk to me is because I'm friendly, because I talk to everybody, because I don't have like a scowl on my face, or, I'm not upset, I'm not angry. And I'm not saying that that's, your testimony, but when people tell me that there are no good brothers out here, I have to come back with, yeah, they are, because I know quite a few of them. And I just know them as friends. I don't know them in any other way. But the reality is I know gentlemen who mentor, who give back to the community, who are genuinely loving and kind brothers who are out here who really want somebody in their lives. And, that's basically all I have to say on that particular subject. But I'm going to tie that right into the fact that part of the reason why we think that we don't meet the right man for us is because of the fact that our thinking says that there are no good men out here, or there are no good women out here. That's not true. I'm a good woman, and I'm out here. I'm a good woman, and I'm out here. And I listen, and I understand, and I go through, and whatever it is that I need to go through as a good woman. And so I attract so many men to myself that I have the pickings to do whatever it is that I want. Whether I'm interested or not is another thing altogether. But it does not mean that good women do not exist. We do exist, and we're waiting on our kings to stand up and do what it is that they're supposed to do. Now, with that being said, I want to go back to lack and abundance. The reason why I have abundance in my life, period, is because I believe that there is an abundance. I don't believe in lack. I only believe in abundance. There is nothing that I lack for, because everything that I need is given unto me. And so I know somebody's out there saying, Kim, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Everything that you need and everything that you want is there. It is. It absolutely is. If I wanted, I don't know, if I wanted to buy another house, all I have to do is put my mind towards buying another house, and I can get it. Now, that's a material thing. That's not an actual relationship. But the reality of the situation is that everything that I need, want, and desire is available to me at my will. And I need for you to understand the same thing about yourself. Everything that you want is available. But when you have a mindset that is to the negative, it'll only draw negativity to you. So what I want you to do, what I want you to think about, is I want you to think about changing the way you think. Now, there There's another thing that I want to do before we take a commercial break. I want to talk, I'm sorry. I did a show 2 weeks ago, and I was talking about leaping. And the importance of leaping is this. I want to talk about what that is. What that is that you take all of your mind, all of your heart, and all of your soul, and you write down the thing that you desire most. And I want you to think about that thing every day, 3 times a day. I want you to read out what you wrote down. I want you to mentally go to the place, mentally, that you desire to be most. So I'll give you an example. If you want to be married, it's not just as simple as saying, I want to be married. You have to get yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepared for that journey. Marriage is not something to be taken lightly. And so in order to be, you just don't want to be married, you want to have a good marriage. That's the key right there. What does a good marriage look like to you? And once you get clear on what a good marriage looks like to you, it will change the entire game and the way that you think. So, with that being said, I call it leaping because that's what it is. It's quantum leaping. It's a mental place that you go to through sometimes meditation, sometimes just simple thought. Just simple thought. You think about the thing that you desire most. So I'm going to give you an example now of what that is and how that can play an intricate part in you getting the things that you desire. Okay. You want a husband or you want a wife. I'm going to ask you now to take a moment, think about what your husband or wife looks like. I don't mean what they physically look like. I'm talking about spiritually and emotionally. What do they look like? What is their personality like? What type of character do they have? What types of morals would you like your husband or your wife to have? What type of business? I'm going to go a step further. What type of house will you live in? Now, I'm taking you on this journey because I want to invoke thought. I want you to think about some of the things that you truly, truly desire. And tell yourself, ask yourself, what does it look like to you? Because at the end of the day, you cannot have what you cannot see. And I know while some people will say, oh, I want the best marriage in the world. I want us to live in a 5-bedroom mansion, with a pool and a yacht. I get that. Really and truly I do. I get that. But you have to present yourself, whatever you're asking God for, whatever you're asking the universe for. You have to present yourself that same person. So if you desire it, you also have to be it. If you desire love, you have to be love. So I'm going to come back to this in just a moment. We're going to go to a little commercial break. And right after that, if you guys want to call in, you can call in. I'm available to take more calls.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this, you'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
You smell so good, I won't have to bathe the next 2 weeks. Anything. So, here, laugh a little harder. All right?
I will take him. I would be proud to show you off, you little old weirdo man.
Get a new sweater. The worst dressed man here tonight. Right? Look, get that laugh, and get it in there tonight because nobody else is going to laugh like her. She's under drugs, all right?
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Horsehair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. p.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com. Welcome to
And we are back. Welcome back to the Dee and Friends show with Kim Love Jones as your host. You can find me on Facebook as Kim Love Jones. Anytime you want, my professional page, my fan page. I am a relationship specialist. I specialize in helping people have better relationships. That is my passion. That is my life. I'm very much into personal development, personal growth, love, which is the epitome of all things good should be rooted in love. And I wanted to go back and get back to what we were talking about prior to the commercial break. I want to talk about leaping. I want you to finish. If you were thinking about it over the commercial break, great. If anybody wants to call in now, feel free to call in. But I do want to tell you that when you start to imagine and start to imagine on the level where you're calling these things into your life. You are saying to yourself, this is the type of marriage I want. This is the type of house I want. I want, some children. I want this, whatever it may be, right? Okay. Whatever it may be, when you quantum leap into that, what you're actually doing is you're calling those things into your life. Now, I'm sorry, I believe I have a phone call coming in. No, I'm not sure if. So, until I see it, I guess I'm gonna, just continue to talk to you. So the quantum leaping is all about changing your mindset through what you believe and what you do and what you think about every single day. I don't care if it's business. I don't care if it's a personal relationship. What you focus on is what you're going to get more of in your life. Now, I know these amazing people who decided one day that they wanted to start this company. And they ended up starting this company, bootstrap, no money, but every single day they focused on that thing that they wanted. I talked earlier about somebody running track and becoming the best. We're winning at the Olympics right now, and it's wonderful. And I think we have 100 medals in total, the United States. So with that being said, you don't get to be the best of the best of the best without running the race. And so as you quantum leap in your mind, every single day you're going to take yourself to that place. As you do that, what you're doing is you're saying, this is what I desire, and you desire it so much that you're going to focus and concentrate on being the best you so that you can have what it is that you desire most. Now, I have a phone call? Okay. Hello?
My name is Justin. I'm watching a show, and my king is Dakota. We've been going with each other now for almost 4 years. We live in the village of New York City, and we're watching a show. And we have tremendous disagreements.
Okay.
Both of us are professionals. I'm a lawyer, and he's a creative director in a major ad agency. And so the problem we're having is that we have too much of each other. And the bigger problem is when we're away from each other. I am under the belief that he is straying. So I don't know how to handle this. I'm very emotional. And I hope you can give me some advice on what I can do to steer my lover back into what I believe a solid relationship.
Oh, okay. I think I can help you with that. If you feel like they're straying, like he's straying, Justin, your name is correct?
I'm sorry, yeah.
Your name is Justin?
My name is Justin. My boyfriend's name is Dakota.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for calling into the show, Justin. I appreciate that. Well, I can tell you this, that if if Dakota is cheating or straying, if you think he is, it's probably, nothing that you can really do about that. That is a personal decision and a personal choice of his. What you can do, however, in that relationship is you can be the best you that you know how to be. The one thing that I teach all the time, Justin, is that we must learn to control ourselves, our feelings.
What are you doing on that phone? Nothing. I'm on the phone. Leave me alone. Give me advice. Why is she giving you advice? Because I'm taking advice from her. Give me that phone. I'm very sorry. You came into the room. I cannot continue. But if you could just give me quick advice, I appreciate it.
Yes, my advice would be.
Stay out, Chuck. Go ahead, Sam. I'm very sorry.
I am so tickled. Okay, you're having a little spat right now, and that's okay. But what I would suggest is that the only person that you can control in a relationship is yourself. Whatever your partner decides to do or not do is entirely up to them. Now, you can love them through whatever it is that they're going through, or you can take matters into your own hands and do something entirely different. But the one thing I want you to know is that you can't control that. The only thing you can control is your thinking and your mind and your life.
I'm listening to her carefully. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hilarious. I am saying that the only person that you can control is you. That's the only person you can control.
Are you saying I'm at the root of this problem?
No,
Maybe
absolutely.
I don't look good anymore?
No, absolutely not. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that when a person strays,
I cannot have a beat-up belly. Stop that. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
the only thing I can tell you is that when you're going through something in your life with your partner, you have to be mindful about who you are in the confines of that relationship. Who are you being? Because you don't get to control other people. And it doesn't have to be you. You don't have to be doing anything wrong at all. But in this world, we don't get to tell people what to do. They have to police themselves. Does that make sense?
I'm so sorry that Dakota keeps on dropping in. He's gone now. I don't know where he went. I have to go find him. I think
Okay.
he's going down the corner bar. We live in the village, as I said, and there's a lot of people out there that are just as effective as anything. I have to go now.
Okay.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you for calling. Okay. So that was Dakota and Justin, and they were actually having a little quarrel while Justin was on the phone asking me for advice. And on that note, I'm just going to stay right in that vein because I think that that's important to discuss. If you have a boyfriend or a significant other in your life and they're doing things that you think are outside of the boundaries of what you agreed upon in your relationship, you have a few things that you can do. You can choose to have a sit down and talk to them about what you don't like. You can say to them, I don't like the fact that you're doing X, Y, and Z, and you can allow them to make a decision based on how you feel about what they're going to do about that relationship. That's one thing about how you feel. The other thing is that if they refuse to do what it is that makes you to stop doing what it is that makes you so terribly unhappy, then you have some decisions and some choices to make. With that being said, the one thing I am certain of is that the only person that I can control and that you can control for certain in this life is you. After a certain point, you don't even get to tell your kids what to do. Trust me, I'm a witness to that. But all things considered, we have to understand that people are going to be who they are first and foremost. And if I can tell you that most people only want to be accepted and loved, that's all they want. When you walk down the street and you see people and you notice them and you acknowledge them, I talk about this almost every single day. It makes people feel good. It makes them feel worthy. when they've been acknowledged, when they're respected, when they're loved. So if you're in a relationship and you're not respecting your partner, or your partner's not respecting you, you need to sit down and revisit why why respect is not paramount in your relationship. I mean, every relationship has fights, and there's always something that we can all disagree or have a disagreement about. But what do you do and how do you handle it is what's going to determine how far your relationship goes or not. Because at the end of the day, it is mutually agreed upon that everybody in every relationship, whether it's business or personal, wants to be respected. And if you cannot respect the person that you're with, then there's a huge problem. So, with that being said, I want to talk about right now, once again, calling into your life what it is that you say you want. I was saying to you before on the phone call that I know people who have started businesses. I know people who have changed their entire lives based upon what they talk, what they think. Because once they change their thinking, they literally change their entire lives. And it takes a lot, it actually takes a lot to get to the point where you're tired of living a certain way or being a certain way, and then you make a decision that you want to change. A phone? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, thanks for calling in the show.
Is this Sister Kim?
Yes, it is.
This is Brother Allen.
Hi, Brother Allen, how are you?
I'm fine. Now, listen, I hear you talking about the relationships and life in abundantly, but I have a question for you. I want to know, like you were talking how men and women go out on dates and how the guy is fed up because of the woman. But I want to know why do most women judge men by baggage that they bring to the relationship, and they hold the individual that they're trying to meet, accountable for that. And a lot of women do that. Like when you meet a nice woman, if you do something that may trigger that, the first thing is that they think that, you and this guy, most women don't give guys a clean slate. So that's why a lot of males go on to these different sites. And I know one thing for me, that I can't do this site. If it's not something by God, then I don't want it.
Okay, you're talking about dating websites, right?
Hello?
You're talking about dating websites?
Yes.
Okay, and you're talking about, can you just kind of replay for me what you were saying?
What I'm saying is...
Oh, turn your volume down on your phone, that's why.
Okay, can you hear me now?
No, not on your phone, on the computer.
I'm not near my computer.
Oh, okay, it just sounds a little high.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, babe. That's
what
perfect.
I'm saying is that, say, like, you meet a nice young lady, you two go out, and the first thing, that if you do something wrong, the first thing, oh, well, you remind me of my baby's father, or you remind me of this, or you remind me of that. And I don't think that once they start labeling you,
yes,
you don't actually really get a fair chance of having a real open relationship or really get to know one another. And I want to know, why do most women do that?
Well, most women do that because that's their personal experience. But the truth of the matter is you need to be weary of that. And that's the truth. Like, if somebody is not healthy enough, if you're dating, if you find out that someone that you're dating is not healthy enough because of what they're saying, because the minute somebody tells me, you remind me of, and it's negative, that says to me that they're not open, they're not ready, and that I ought not, put too much stock in trying to have a relationship with someone who's not ready. I remember a gentleman telling me, Brother Allen, I remember a gentleman telling me that he was interested in me, but he still bought his wife clothes, She doesn't live. They don't live together. No physical, nothing. She's in a whole, I don't know, 500, 600, 1,000 miles away. But he still sends her stuff, underwear and I thought to myself, wow, that's interesting, because that says to me that you still kind of holding on to something. Now, again, I didn't say anything to him, right?
Right.
But it was something that I took note of. Because I kind of feel like if you're still kind of that involved in the day-to-day operations of a previous relationship,
Right.
that you're kind of not ready to move and embark on the next level with me, right? But I am still like cool with him. I appreciate him. I think he's a really nice person, but I'm not so sure that he's somebody that I would date for real, for real. And the reason why that is because I still think he's kind of tied up and connected to his ex-wife. You understand?
Right.
So when I find out, just as a general rule of thumb, when I find out that somebody is not invested, in just, they don't, if they come in with that much baggage, they're not ready for me. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Sister Kim. So when will you know who your soulmate is?
When he presents himself. When he is, and I'm saying that this way because you have to, here's the thing, I want to be clear. In order to get to the point where you can really have a real relationship, and this is for everybody watching, in order to get to the point where you can have a real relationship, you have to be a friend first. There is absolutely no way to be in a relationship with somebody that you hardly know, expecting that, everything. Now, some people believe in love at first sight, and I hear you, and I know people who have been married for many, many years. They met, some 30 years ago, they fell in love, and they're still married to this day. Wonderful. But the reality for me is, and for a lot of people, is that there are some serious trust issues. And one of the first things that I would say to all of the women and all of the men watching is I would definitely say to get to know them. Don't get in bed with them. Be their friend. They need a friend just like you need a friend. They want a companion just like you want a companion. They want somebody who's going to ride or die with them just like you do. So my suggestion would be to be their friend. Don't try to be anything more, because then it starts to get a little convoluted. Everything starts to go crazy because now they're hitting you in your head, Brother Allen, and they're hitting you in your head to all the ladies that are listening, whoever, male or female, they're starting to impose upon their past hurts onto you because they're not really ready for that type of relationship.
Well, let me ask you a question. When you first meet someone, do you think it's right to have expectations of your partner or someone that you're trying to meet? Because I know a lot of females that I have met in the past and present, like have this expectation, well, I want to get married, and like the fairy tale weddings and stuff like that, without even really getting to know you. So is it fair to have expectations going into meeting someone?
No, it is. It's fair to have what it is, to be clear about what you want and who you are. But it's not really fair, because once you're clear about who you want, what you want in life, once you're clear about that, then that in and of itself is the game changer. You don't have to, you can have an expectation that, yes, someday I want to get married, someday I want to meet the right person, someday. And then when you meet somebody, yes, it's okay to have an expectation that while you're dating, if your goal is to get married at some point, then that should be stated. I think that that's fair, because at least they're going to know where you are and what you want, and you're going to know where they are. But I'm talking about upon initially meeting someone, I don't necessarily know that that should be some of the first things coming out of your mouth. I think that you should really get to know the person, period. You should really just get to know them and be their friend. And I think the expectations that you impose upon other people bring about more problems than they're worth. Because you're not really, Go ahead, I'm listening.
Go ahead, Sister Kim.
No. I was saying they bring about more problems than they're even worth, because what's happening is you start to impose upon them your will. You start to say to them, I want you to give me this, or to be this way, or I have this expectation. And you're not really accepting people for who they are. And that's why being a friend is so very important. I think we get all mixed up and confused, and everything gets convoluted because we have these expectations, and you're not really accepting people to be who they are. What about who they are? Do they have to do everything you want them to do, or can they just be free to be who they are? Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense, Sister Kim.
Yeah. So I think that's a problem when people just say straight out the box, well, I expect you to do boom, 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 boom. I think that gets a little crazy, because here again, Alan, here again, people have these laundry list of people have these laundry list of goals or dreams. Are you listening to? Okay. People have these. You're listening to the show, right? Turn the volume down on the show. People have these laundry lists, like he has to be this, or she has to be that. She has to be this size, or he has to be this size. And this is what I truly desire for my life. That's one thing. But once you meet that person and they come into your life and you start telling them, well, you need to do this, and this in order to be with me, now you're imposing upon them your expectations, and that's a problem. Because you're not genuinely allowing them to be who they are. When you say and you profess, oh, I really care about you. Well, who is it that you really care about? Who you think I should be, or who I genuinely am? Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. That's why I asked you, because I know that, a lot of women have expectations, and when you go on certain sites, you know what I'm saying, that's what most women are looking for. They'll tell you, I'm looking for a husband. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for a husband. But, some of them are working, some of them aren't. You know what I'm saying? But, I don't do the site thing. But like I told you, for me, if it's not something that's led to me, or I'm led to them by the Spirit, then I don't mess with it, because I know when I try to do the relationship thing on my own.
Yes. Yes. I think a lot of people can attest to that. I think a lot of people can attest to that. I've tried it many different times, and the thing for me is like I always tell you, the patience and being humble and waiting, and it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Because I get lonely. Yes, I do. I have no problem in that. I get lonely. No, I get it.
And I want to go outside of not waiting. And then usually that's when chaos starts.
Right.
Because, the facade, everything looks good. Everything looks good from the beginning. And then when you really get to know this person, I'm like, what did I get myself into?
Right. And that's the importance. And that's the importance of being friends.
Just being patient, and, and I'm learning to be humble. And it's hard. It's hard.
Yes. That's the importance of being friends. That is the importance of being friends right there. Because you don't know that. I was on the phone today, and I actually was talking to a very good friend of mine who lives down in Washington, D.C. And he and I were talking, and me and him have like the best relationship ever. We talk about everything. He can ask me anything. But if he... Some of the stuff that he says to me today, if he would have asked me this, like, let's say 5 or 6 years ago, these same questions, I would have probably taken it a completely different way. Because now that me and him have had this great friendship for all of these years, there's nothing that he can't say to me, and I don't get offended, or I don't get bothered when he says something to me. It doesn't make me flustered. You know what I mean? But It's only because he and I have been such good friends all of these years that I can truly even say that. You know, that, you know, it like, he's perfect for me as far as friendship is concerned.
As a friend?
Yes.
Or as relationship-wise?
No, as a
Because there are
friend.
some people that you can just only be friends with, and then, you know, when you cross that line and go into that relationship thing, sometimes it just doesn't work out.
No, well, see, here's the thing. Why wouldn't it work out if you were truly friends? You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, if you're really friends.
Also, in that same sense, I hear a lot of people that have tried that, have been friends for a certain amount of years, and then when they try to do the relationship thing, it just doesn't work. And, you know, and I be like, I don't understand it. How is that? If you have been friends this long and you've been close and you trust each other with your secrets, how is it that the relationship doesn't work?
Right. Well, can I say this to you? You know, I want to just say this before I get ready to go, because I got about another 2 minutes before I have to get off. But I want to say this to you. You know, when you say you love somebody, when you were younger and you thought that you were just so in love, right? You were just so in love. Like, you were in love and nobody was going to ever replace the person that you were so in love with, right? And then you got hurt, you moved on, and you met somebody else, and you were so in love all over again. And then you asked yourself this question: was I really in love with the person I was with before? Because this feels different. This here feels different. This doesn't feel like what would normally, like, my last relationship to me. Like, this friendship is proving to be really good. The type of relationship, the way that we talk to each other, the way that they smile at me when I walk in a room, it proves to be different. It just seems like it's even better than this is the best thing that has ever happened to me thus far, right? And then some years go by, and then something happens, and then you meet someone else, and you say, I love them. And now you're questioning, if you will, you're asking yourself, right?
Right.
If what you thought you had before was really, truly love. Because you really thought you loved those 2 or 3 people before. You know what I mean?
Right.
But as you grow in your relationship and as you grow as a human being, you start to really see love at different angles and different hues and colors. Like, I have male friends that I absolutely love and adore, but they are just that. They are friends, and we have the best relationships ever. I'm not going to keep you, Brother Allen. I can't even really finish my thought. I have like 1 minute left, and I have to close the show.
I know you want to close out with one of your closing, so I will talk to you later, and thank you.
You're welcome, baby. We will talk soon.
All right.
All right. And before we get ready to go off the line, I just wanted to once again thank everybody for watching. I thank all of the callers that called in. I appreciate that so much. It was absolutely great, and I enjoyed doing the show. I had to do it by myself, but I'm here. So you guys are phenomenal, and thanks for watching. And again, this is Kim Love Jones, and I'm signing off right now. This is the Dee and Friends Show, and I hope to see you again real soon. Bye.